Bah.
Welcome to the Finding Loot podcast, where
Hi.
Jesse's tired and I'm all ready to go.
Of course he is.
I'm always ready to go, baby.
Perfect audio. He
This
has
happens every week.
he has the perfect microphone, and I don't know why. He doesn't have to do anything to it, and I have to sit here and adjust mine to all get out, and it's.
It's not quite perfect. If things get too loud, it peeks through and comes through my headset.
True.
So, I've had people hear themselves. I've had people, yeah, it's good, but it's not great.
Well, anyway, how have you been this week?
It's been good. Let's go ahead and introduce the podcast for those new listeners. This is a podcast where we talk about life. We talk about mainly video games. We also talk about life, stuff going on in our personal lives, and just generally enjoy good company.
Yep. That's exactly what we're here to do. Have
Yeah,
fun.
we also talk about movies and all that good stuff. So, entertainment oriented.
Exactly.
To answer your question earlier, been good, buddy. I've been doing a lot of stuff, prepping to create a second D&D game.
Sounds like fun. And a lot of
Yeah,
work.
gonna. Well, actually, this one will be a lot of work to begin with, and then kind of smooth out later on because it'll be more sandbox oriented.
Okay. That's not going to be
Yeah.
too bad.
Not too bad at all. Whereas my main campaign is very much linear, and in that there is a story that players can explore whatever way they want to get to that story.
Yeah.
So how you been, buddy?
Many different things. Tired,
Yeah.
sore,
Good.
um,
Barn
but
lifting.
happy. Yeah, we had to go lift a shed the other day, and I put basically the whole thing on my back. And oh, geez, it's not a thing I would recommend doing again.
Yes, the Emperor's New Groove style.
Yes, basically I made a yoke
Oh, good.
and I became the bull on the yoke.
So let's go ahead and talk about some games we've been playing.
Yeah.
Now that we're all caught up. Generally, we're not terribly busy people, so it doesn't take long to catch up on our personal lives.
Exactly.
But we do play a lot of games. So Jesse, what you been playing aside from the thing I told you to play?
I have been playing a lot of a Soulsborne series. Specifically, I'm trying to get through Dark Souls Remastered.
Oh, good.
And that has been a journey. I just beat the two hardest boss characters in the game, which were Ornstein and Smo, after about a 4 hour long fight of me dying repeatedly.
Might I say you've now gotten further than I have in that game?
I've gotten further than most of the players in that game now.
I don't know about that. A lot of people have beaten that game, like a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm just saying, like, the majority of that was the game breaker for a majority of the first starting players. So
That is true. It definitely broke me, and then I moved on to 2 and kind of never went back.
yeah,
But overall, I love the idea behind the remake, but man, did they not do well on some of the stuff in execution.
I I came into it very disappointed, having to pay $40 for just some remastered graphics, which weren't even that remastered.
And also remastered bugs, because they didn't fix any of the bugs.
No, they fixed the bugs, but every time you fix a bug, you get two more bugs.
Well, the thing people were mainly upset with is the classic bugs are still there.
Yeah, the ones that nobody wants.
Yeah, like being able to chain backstabs.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
always
that's
fun.
that's the biggest annoyance in that game.
They have a huge hacker community to the point where hackers are actually begging them to stop letting hackers do what they do.
There was an infamous hacker
Yeah.
that would basically he would throw something at you that would glitch out your character, and it would register the system to make you a hacker in the system, so you would get banned,
Yeah.
which was
Do you know what
really
that
dumb.
is?
What?
Have you heard what that is?
No.
I know how that works. So the way that the servers are set up, there's a normal server and then there's a hacked server.
Yeah. Oh, I have heard
So
about this. Yeah.
yeah, so what happens is that when you're caught hacking by the system in whatever way, your character is shifted to the hacked server so that he can only ever from that point on match up with other hackers through summoning and such.
Well, sometimes it's
And
temporary.
invading. Well, it is temporary, yeah. There are occasions where it's temporary, but there are more permanent stuff. I've heard.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but the whole idea is that it stops hacker players from attacking non-hacking players.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of works, but the problem is a lot of these hacker players hack items and then they throw it on the ground, and then the unhacked player is like, oh, this guy's trying to be nice to me. Goes and picks up the item. It's a hacked item, so you immediately get shifted over to the hacked server.
So basically, they're just bringing everybody down with them.
Yeah, it's not fun.
And this isn't just something that's only occurred in Dark Souls 1 Remastered. This is a thing with all the games. They just managed to actually fix it with the other ones.
Yeah.
So hopefully, given some time, Dark Souls Remastered will fix as well. But just avoid picking up items from random people.
That's true. Kind of like real life. If somebody just drops something out of their pocket, maybe don't pick it up. Maybe
Don't-
just tell them they dropped it.
Don't pick up that drug needle thing, whatever they drop.
I hope that they update it, man, because they didn't do any updating to the original game. They just released it and then left it alone. And that was it.
Yep.
So I really hope they actually fix it.
I mean, they with the big server issue, they'll probably address that. But any of the old glitches, they'll probably just leave that in. Which, I mean, I don't really care as long as they fix the whole hacking thing.
I know, but it sucks for PvP. Like, you're not going to have a really fun PvP experience if somebody just gets behind you and then continuously backstabs you until you die.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's also the difficulty of the game. It's kind of like, just get over it.
Not really. It's more of it's a glitch, but either way.
I mean, that's how they've always addressed it in the past. If a glitch pops up, they're like, oh, it just adds to the difficulty.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really see it that way myself. But, all in all, fun game.
Yeah.
It's fun. Got a lot of glitches, but if you can deal with the glitches, then you'll have a good time.
And oh boy, there are a lot of glitches.
Jesse,
Yeah.
I've been playing a game this week.
You've
past
been
few
telling me
weeks.
this. Go ahead and address your game. Your beautiful game.
So if you didn't catch it on some of our previous videos, I've been playing Detective Pikachu,
Yes, he has.
and I've come to an interesting conclusion about this game,
What is this?
and I got a theory. Okay, this isn't really a hard fact, and it's not going to be a spoiler because you learn the plot in the first 5 minutes of the game. So, don't worry. But I have an acting theory. But let me explain what the game is first.
All right.
So, you play as Tim Goodman, a suspiciously American name, and you've recently come to a city full of Pokemon and other people
Wow,
in
beautiful.
in search of your missing father, who was a detective who worked for an agency here in the city.
This always gives me Fallout vibes. You're
Yeah.
searching for your dad.
So, come to the city, and immediately you meet a Pikachu who's wearing an adorable little Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yeah.
Turns out, you're the only person in the world who can hear this Pikachu speaking. And guess what?
What?
This Pikachu has amnesia. That's
Question
right.
mark? Question
Yep.
mark? How does he know he's a detective?
Well, he figured out that much.
Using his detective skills, of which he forgot?
Yes.
Ha!
He's also wearing a hat.
Oh.
And they found him in your father's car, because guess what? He's your father's Pikachu! That's right.
Dun dun dun.
Again, this isn't a spoiler because this happens in the first 5 minutes of the game. And, like, you finish the first case, and it's like, hey, guess what? I'm your dad's Pikachu.
That means I'm your Pikachu. I just imagine him doing that with like the whole finger guns.
Yeah, because he does have a middle-aged man's voice. So it's pretty funny.
I didn't even know Pikachu's had like a medium lifespan.
I mean, they get old. All Pokemon get old and die.
Yeah, but it's just like they never really
Never think
mention
about
it. Yeah, it's like middle-aged Pikachu. Like, oh, okay.
Well, think about it though. Like, there is the Pokemon graveyard in the first game. That big tower.
And there was a Pokemon War.
There was. But so the whole plot of the game is that your father went missing investigating a case where Pokemon were getting more and more like aggressive, like not just normally aggressive, but like extra aggressive.
Okay.
And sorry, I had to sneeze.
Don't how dare you?
My apologies. And your father got into a crash with his car, and when the detectives arrived to investigate the scene, all they found was the Pikachu. Couldn't find your dad. So my theory is that your father is the Pikachu.
But you're the only one who can hear him.
That's what I'm thinking, right? They're gonna play some like father-son bond connection.
You thought I was your father's Pikachu, but guess what? I'm your father.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, that could very well be the case, because in previous Pokemon games, Bill, the guy who made your little storage machine,
yeah,
he transferred his mind into a Jigglypuff.
So you're thinking somehow he got his mind transferred into a Pikachu?
It's not unheard of. There are psychic Pokemon who have switched characters in the show in the past between their Pokemon's bodies and themselves. So,
but a Pikachu's never done it.
I know. But I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking that maybe somehow Dad's soul or consciousness or whatever got transferred into Pikachu. Because Pikachu suspiciously likes all the things your father likes. He enjoys coffee. He keeps things messy, tidy, like just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's a detective. But again, you know, that could just be me projecting because he is the father's Pikachu, so it's natural that he'd pick up on these things.
But I mean,
it's funny. Yeah, go for it.
Wouldn't he also pick up a lot of the same traits as your dad because he was your dad's Pikachu?
That's what I just said. Like 5 seconds ago.
You've rephrased it in a way of which I did not understand then.
All right. Well, either way, that's my working theory on this game.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sold on it. It's just I'm seeing a lot of similarities. And it's really funny watching the Pikachu drink black coffee. Just straight black coffee.
Yeah, that would entertain me. Even though I'm not
great.
as big into Pokemon as you are.
Oh, I'm huge into it.
I don't know why. I just, beyond Pearl, when Pearl ended, I was like, alright, I'm done with the series, and I just put it down and never picked it back up.
Yeah, I've been on board since Sapphire, I believe, like original Game Boy Sapphire. I was a bit too young to play Red and Blue, but I have them.
I mean, I have Red and Blue as well. I mean, I have them. I've just never beaten a Pokemon or gotten even halfway through the game.
Yeah, I've beaten 3 or 4, I believe. Yeah, somewhere between
do it.
3 or 4. I think maybe 5.
All right.
But yeah, I love games. I love them so much, and I absorb Pokemon content wherever I can.
Even a middle-aged Pokemon with who drinks black coffee.
Oh yeah, I'm super on board with this, baby.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
All right, so how about we're a little ways into the podcast.
About 15 minutes.
Midway. Yeah, about 15 minutes in. How about we talk about what we're going to be doing moving forward on for the picking of the games because we're about to move into the games we picked last week or the week before last.
All right. Do you want me to talk about that, or do you want to do
Yeah,
it?
go
Okay.
for it. Why don't you explain our new system?
So this took a while. From Alice came up with the idea, and it took me a while to get it because I was trying to string it some other way. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking a genre every week, and that genre will apply to both me and him, and we have to choose one game that we own or one game that the other person owns. Yeah, the one
Yeah,
game that the other person owns within that genre to play that game. So it's going to limit what type of game we play a little bit more.
and also add some variety because we found the spin wheel.
Yes, we did find a. We're basically good mythical morning now. I mean,
I
except
mean, we're a lot of things.
yeah, we have a lot of hats in this business, man.
Oh boy. Yeah, we have a. It's gonna be a pretty fun idea, I believe. I really like the idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to work well. It's also going to allow us to think better about what type of game we're going to be playing instead
Instead
of
of the
just picking
vast
one out of this
library.
huge mess of games that we own.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yes, and hopefully I won't get Mass Effect anytime soon.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and dive on into the games of the week.
All right, do you want to
So,
start?
yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So we had a little bit of a hiccup this week, both of us.
Yeah, you
He
could
can
say that.
explain his, but for me, the game was literally taken from my possession.
Was it like midweek your brother just walked in and was like yoink?
Well, you remember I was playing it, with Jesse in the chat. It was the day after that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I got far in the game. I got decently far. I beat the first boss. And then I explored a little ways past that.
Yay. 113 through.
Yeah. So Demon Souls is it's an interesting game. I enjoy it. I enjoyed playing it. I feel like the controls are a little old, but once you get used to them, you're like, oh, this is Dark Souls. I'm fine. I got this.
It's just a little bit more latency, I guess, than Dark Souls 1.
A bit. The enemies broadcast their moves a little bit better. Though they may broadcast them better, it's still a pain to parry.
Oh, yeah.
But it's totally easy to just walk around the enemy and just hit him from behind.
Okay.
It's
So,
the first Souls game that had a plot that I could understand.
well, you also had a guy, like, in the chat constantly explaining everything to you.
That as well, but I mean, like, there was a legitimate, like, cutscenes
Huh.
telling me the story.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
what
go
did
ahead.
you think of the first boss? Tell us a little bit about the first boss.
The first tutorial boss that insta-killed me, or the actual first boss?
Either.
Okay, the tutorial bosses are a pain, and I kind of hate them, because usually you lose to them.
This is what I've
Um,
heard.
Yeah. But Phalanx is the first boss that you encounter outside of the tutorial.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, is he not a hard boss, but I really love his mechanics.
So, what does he do? What is he?
He's a giant slime. And he is surrounded by tinier slimes, and each of those tinier slimes are carrying shields.
Okay.
So, the whole idea of the boss is that you have to clear out all the little slimes in order to get to Phalanx.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Huh.
This whole time while you're saying slimes, I'm thinking of, like, the mud monsters in Pokemon.
Ah,
The
you
ones
mean,
with, like, the mud hands that you'll always encounter in, like, little sewers.
Grimer and Muck.
Yeah. I'm thinking of those things the whole time.
Pretty much. Phalanx actually doesn't do anything.
No?
He's just a mass of ooze with a bright shiny bit on top.
Who creates more enemies for you, though, right?
Nope.
Nope.
the amount of slimes in there is the amount you got.
Huh.
Yeah, it's old mechanics, baby. So
That's nice.
it's relatively easy. Like, it's intimidating at first because all of the little slime shields have spears, and they chuck them at you, or they jab you with them. With them.
Oh no.
So at first you're like, don't panic, and then you get behind a pillar, and then you realize that everything moves really slow, so you have time to adjust and put on the fire bombs that almost insta-kill the tiny slimes.
This is
However,
the same thing in Dark Souls 1 too with the slimes.
Yeah. However, I only had 5 little slimes, little fire bombs.
Okay.
There were like 30 slimes, so I didn't quite get them all. So I spent the rest of the time running, hitting the boss, or hitting the slimes on the boss, and then running away until eventually they all hopped off and did their own thing for a little while. To which I could then round them up and get them from behind. Get behind the shield they carry.
Okay.
All in all, it's a fun boss fight. Like, it may sound easy, but I came close to death a lot.
Well, that's
Because
just
it's Dark Souls.
That's what you have to get used to when playing a Soulsborne game. Is that things are going to happen, and you are going to die.
Yeah, it is the first boss that I've beaten in a long time on the first try. Like, ever. Not just like the first try for a run, but like the first try.
Okay.
I think the only other one I've done like that was the first boss in 3. That was the most recent one, at least.
You see, you beat him first try. It took me like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But, like, in Dark Souls 1, I can run through it. And most of the bosses that I first fought, like, other than Ornstein and Smo, I beat on, like, the first try.
Yeah.
So, interesting enough.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun feeling.
It is a good feeling. It's a succeeding feeling.
However, I also learned, can't level up till you beat that first boss.
Is it like Bloodborne where you have to have, like, a skill or something unlocked before you can start unlocking levels?
No, just gotta beat that boss first.
Oh. There goes my whole theory out the window.
No. Doing that, for some reason, unlocks the Wax Girl, which is a girl who apparently is the most powerful demon ever, and has her eyes sealed over with wax.
Huh.
She's your level up girl in this game.
Okay.
She's your shrine maiden. If you will. But yeah. Graphics wise, the environment's cool. The environment and the armor is really good. People, not so much.
Do you think it still holds up?
Environment and armor wise, yes.
People wise, let's just remove all the NPCs.
The people are monstrosities. I mean, okay, it's definitely nothing compared to what this is, and this is a remaster. I think I'm playing.
No way.
I don't know if it's a remaster or just a port to the PS3. But
it was not a PlayStation 2 game. It was originally PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could just be playing the original copy, or I could be playing a remaster. Who knows? But either way, the people look hideous, but everything else in the game looks beautiful.
Do you think it deserves a remastered?
Oh,
on
definitely.
Like a PS4?
Well, definitely, because now, recently I learned that there's a lot of content you actually can't do in the game because the servers went down. It is now impossible to 100% that game, because there are certain doors in the game that will never open without online features.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So, if they were going to do a remaster of that game, I would hope they do it soon. And do it better than the Dark Souls 1 remaster.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even care at that point. It's been so long. I mean, I would love to play it on the PS4.
Yeah, I'd love to play with updated graphics. But,
You're like, forget the PS4. Just put it on anything. Just give me the graphics.
So, graphics-wise, 7 out of 10.
All right.
But
Gameplay?
it's okay. Gameplay wise, I'd say 7.
And
Across 7 for it, like a rough 7, like just barely makes the 7 because it's only going to be a 7 if you've played other Souls games.
yeah.
If you have a basic understanding of that, otherwise it's going to be like a 5. So
Like, I can easily see somebody who has not played a Soulsborne game before struggling a lot.
oh yeah, they will not understand anything that's going on or how the inventory system works or how to heal. Just it'll be a mess.
Basically, crawl in a corner and do the fetal.
I'd say like a 5 or 6 for those who haven't played it before, any Souls games before. But for those who have, 7. It works fine. Not as good as the new stuff, but works fine.
Okay. How's the story?
The story's interesting. It's all about demons,
Well, yes.
surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
So the idea is there's demon souls were given. I believe this is what it was. Demon souls were given to 8 kings or 8 people of prominent power.
Yeah.
It is now your job to go collect those to stop the great old one, which is a Cthulhu-inspired end boss, from turning the world into fog and having everything disappear.
So they have a reason for the fog in this game.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. I've never understood where the fog makes any sense in the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it, and we just didn't know. But in this one, it is because of the great old one.
Okay. So what would you rate the story?
Actually, I'd rate the story at a 9.
Really?
Yeah, because unlike previous Souls games, I'm having it explained to me. I'm interacting with NPCs in the world that are actually moving. I'm helping them. I'm doing quest lines. Like, all in all, the story's fantastic. Like, other games, aside from Bloodborne, I haven't been able to understand the story at all. I'm just doing things, but I have to watch lore videos to understand what the real story is. But in this one, I have a clear motive. I know what I'm doing. I came here to stop the great old one and travel through the fog to fix things.
So for that, you're very grateful and happy about them explaining it.
Yeah, I'm super happy about it.
All right.
So all in all, I'll give this game a 7 out of 10.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I'll have to check it out. Well, hopefully if they ever remaster it. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink.
You could also just play this version.
True, but I could never 100% it.
No, but you can beat the game. It is beatable.
Oh, by 100% you mean like face everything.
Yeah. There are certain items you can't collect. There may be maybe there's a boss or something you can't do. NPCs you can't complete the quest lines of, but you can beat the game.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
So, Jesse. You know,
game.
I'm such a fan of the Mass Effect series. I love BioWare. I don't like their marketing decisions from time to time, but man, do I love their story department. It is top-notch. So, Jesse, tell me your experience with one of my most beloved games.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with I didn't make it as far as you wanted me to, and for that I apologize, but it wasn't a lack of time. I clocked in close to 7 or 8 hours in that game. I tried my hardest. It just didn't work out.
All right.
Um,
Well, we start from the beginning. We've gotten a little teaser of what is to come. So, start us off for those few who don't know what Mass Effect is, from your understanding.
From my understanding, Mass Effect is a universe in which the humans have colonized beyond Earth, and they have encountered alien species beyond and alien life beyond their own. And they have, in this universe, they have all gotten together and they've created this civilization where they all work together to cooperate. However, there is these other types of species that refuse to cooperate and that is specifically militant. They're a non-organic life form called the Geth, and there's another one called the Reapers, right?
There's more Sword of the Reapers than that, but yeah.
Well, these people previously tried to destroy all workings of civilization before in organic life forms, because
And
they
they
believe
succeeded.
inorganic life forms are the best.
I'll stop you there for a second because
Okay.
they're looking for the perfect harmony between inorganic and organic.
Well, as far as I got, they said they destroyed the Protheans because they were organic. That was what Shepard
Yeah.
said. So I'm just going off of what I understand.
Yeah, it's all good. Go for it.
So he jumping forward into the time of the character you're playing as, which can be anybody, but I specifically just chose the standard character, which is John Shepard.
Shepard.
Just Shepard. He is a soldier in the human Marines, or not CSEC, Marines. And he is in the ship called the Normandy under a commander named Anderson when you start the game. He's being evaluated to work with the Council, which is this group of people that serve to make sure all alien and human life forms get along accordingly and that the universe works as it should. Essentially.
Yay.
Yeah, there are 3 people. But they have this group of people that work for them directly called the Spectres. And currently, Shepard is the first human to ever be considered for the Spectres as we know of when the game starts. And his job is to eventually get into the Spectres and hunt down another Spectre who's trying to bring about the rise of the Reapers. And his name is Saren. So boom, that is the beginning of the story. That's where you start.
There you go. So, Jesse,
Yeah.
you told me you did this 10 side quests. That's fun.
Yes, I did a lot of, hey, go talk to this person, go talk to that person. Go
How were
solve
those?
all my gossip.
How were those treating you? Did you enjoy them?
Yeah, they were fun. I especially like the missions where you got to meet like with Rex and you got to take down Fist. That was probably a fun one. I like that one. Because it was like one of the few missions that involves shooting people.
Oh, trust me. There will be more. The beginning of the game is real slow on that, but trust me, it kicks off.
A lot of the missions you will encounter are either going to be exploration missions or, like, this is side quest I'm talking about. They'll be either be exploration or going to talk to others. The very few of them will very much be primarily about fighting and taking down somebody.
Yeah, which why don't you explain your you're not an RPG guy, yeah?
I can enjoy them from time to time, but I'm not into them as much as you are.
You're more of a shooter.
Yeah.
You're more of a shooter fan.
I'm a busy person in real life, and I don't have a lot of time to sit down and enjoy a game like that, so I tend to like shooters more and other games where I can put down whenever I want.
Yeah. Which isn't a bad thing, just a different preference.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and how was the gameplay? How's it aged?
Gameplay wise, I died so many times because the mechanics wouldn't work how I wanted them to.
Yeah, you never got used to the giant wheel that takes forever to recharge.
Yeah. That and the healing system when you're in the ship exploring planets just completely sucks. It takes forever, you can't move, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
barely see any improvement.
The Omni Gel.
Yes. So you just end up like... You basically just forget healing if you're in the Mako ship. You're just wandering around and hoping you don't die.
Oh, the one thing I love about that game is that you can slap Omni Gel into anything.
It's basically duct tape.
It unlocks doors, it fixes machine parts. In Mass Effect 2, they made a joke about that in the Shadow Broker expansion, where you have to spend a long time defending a door that's being hacked, And the R's like, it's almost done. And Shepard's like, man, don't you miss the days when we just slap Omni Gel on everything? That was great.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see that a lot. One of the
go for it.
One of the things I would say is that though the gameplay hasn't aged very well, in fact, I mean, in a rating system, I'd probably give the gameplay like a 5 or a 4 out of 10. The story was still great and captivating.
Yeah.
Enough to the part where I think I'll finish it, but I'm gonna need to take my time with it.
What part are you stuck on specifically? Like, I know you're stuck getting to Liara. Is it the boss fight outside of her, outside the inner chambers?
So I'm on this planet with a bunch of lava. Like, there's lava lakes everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to explore this area, but Geth keeps killing me everywhere because they have these little bases with strong turrets and things like that everywhere.
Okay.
So
you don't drive up those.
No. I know you go up through the side, but every time I go up to the side, about 10 minutes later, like all this Geth surround me, and I just die.
Yeah.
I think I'm too low of a level or something to take it on because I'm only like a level 4.
Oh no, you're not. It would have helped to do a ton of side quests out in the world. Like, there's a bunch in the Citadel that tell you, like, go off and do planet stuff, and you'll kill bandits out there or whatever.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not do that.
Yeah. But that would have helped, but you can totally do this. You just have to make use of cover, and you have to find, like, the proper skills for each character. You can quick find one skill in this version. So, you're a soldier, yeah?
I just went with a standard character before they had any character creation. So, lone survivor, soldier.
So you're a soldier. Yeah, go ahead and you should have concussive shot. That may have been in a second game, but if it's not, use overkill all the time.
All right.
Overkill is your friend.
Well, I'll have to give it a shot. It also doesn't help that I have a completely human crew who all suck. Because I'm trying to complete the game with only the human crew.
Racist.
And romance, did you just call me racist?
What?
You jerk. Hey.
Speciesist.
Hey. I pay my taxes just like the Turians.
But, yeah, I mean, they're a good combo. She's heavy into combat. The idea is that you want to mix up your combat abilities. Like, it'll show you the bars.
Yeah, I'm majority, like, combat strength right now. With a little bit of bionic and whatever the other one is.
How much have you put into your persuasion abilities?
My charm is almost completely leveled up.
Oh, good. That's really good.
I put it all into charm because I remembered how far that could get me in other BioWare games.
Uh-huh.
Like, switching games real quick. If you're playing Dragon Age, and anybody who's beaten Dragon Age can tell me this and can confirm it, that if you put everything you can into charisma and charm, you can convince people to do the craziest things.
Uh-huh. In the first game, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can walk up to somebody and they'll be like, "Ha, we're here to rob you." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're here to ask for forgiveness for doing nothing, and you're gonna pay me 10 silver." And they will do it.
I regret my life as a bandit, sir. I will turn a new leaf. Become a city guard.
I did that in my new playthrough of Dragon Age. Actually, I did that, and I made it all charisma, and I convinced the guy to give me 100 silver starting off and walk away.
It's beautiful. So Jesse,
yeah,
back on topic.
Okay.
Gameplay's going good.
Story's great.
Story's great. Graphics, how do you think they've held up?
It looks like a freaking VCR.
Oh yeah, you can turn that off, and I don't recommend it.
No. I've tried it. The motion blur is insane.
Yeah. I kind of like that it has a VCR film grain to it. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I like it's something you have to acquire a taste for in games. It's like your favorite wine. You have to acquire a taste for it.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll get used to it, and you'll just play it like anything else.
I will ask one thing graphics-wise.
What?
Have you noticed whenever you talk to Liara, or, I mean, you haven't talked to her yet, but whenever you talk to Ashley in your ship, there's a strange blue light on the screen?
I've not talked to Ashley on the ship yet.
Well, that's your problem. You gotta talk to him after every important mission.
I haven't done an important mission yet. I just slammed my phone.
Well,
Sorry.
After Vermont, after your first mission's an important mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do this romance right. But you have time. Just right after you're done with this mission, go talk to everybody in your ship.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get used to the rounds, buddy. Don't worry.
You'll make the rounds, all right. Yeah, we got you. All right.
So, overall, what's your rating for the game?
In total, I'd probably give it a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. I mean, it's not a bad game if you really like RPGs, but for somebody who likes to play a shooter more, it doesn't work as great. So
You'll enjoy 2 and 3. Don't worry. They're much more shooter oriented.
yeah, all right, possibly, if I ever get there.
Yeah.
I have to get there first.
All right, buddy. What are we looking at for time?
We're at 41 minutes.
Okay.
So
So you want to do the wheel now, or do you want to?
sure, let's get. Do you want to do
Okay.
the wheel, or do you want me to do the wheel? I already have it
got
up.
the wheel, baby.
You got the wheel.
I got the wheel. All right.
Spin that wheel.
So, like we said earlier, this will be determining what genre we play. You can't see it, but I'm spinning. Arcade.
Arcade.
I don't know if either of us own arcade games.
Oh, trust me, I own an arcade game. I'm looking up arcade games real quick.
I mean, I got Castle Crashers. Kind of arcadey. It's more of a side scroller. Is that what he means by arcade? Yeah, I guess that's what he means by arcade. So I guess we're looking at side scrollers and other such games.
Berserk.
Berserk.
I'm looking up a list of top grossing. Oh, hey, Tetris! I dare you to play 2 hours of Tetris.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
I mean, if you really want me to, it's not going to be much to talk about.
No, it's not. It's a good game though. It's a good game.
Good. It's fun. Okay, I mean, I got one in mind for you.
Well,
Sort of. I mean, it's not arcade. Dang it. Hold on. Should we respin since I don't really know what falls into an arcade genre?
I can tell you a list of arcade games that I definitely own.
I mean, the problem is I don't think I own any. Like, I could find like a game like Pac-Man, but that's not what you're really looking for.
Do you have Battletoads?
No, I mean I do somewhere, buried.
Because I got Battletoads.
All right, that there is an old school genre. You know what? We'll just respin for this one since it's a little bit vague.
Okay, we'll
And
get a
then-
better idea of what we got for arcade next time.
Platformer.
Dang it, that's almost the same thing as an arcade.
It's really not. There's a much more varied spectrum to it.
Okay. Tell me when you have an idea, because I'm.
Do you have Super Meat Boy?
I do not.
Ah.
It's one of the games that I want, but I'm too lazy to go buy.
Well, here's your no.
Well, here's your incentive.
Let's see here. You know what? I got something for you.
What?
Why don't you play Super Mario World?
Is that the old one or new one?
I mean, it's old. It came out on the NES. You have that?
Oh, you're talking about the Super Nintendo one? The one
Yeah,
with...
the SNES, sorry. Super Mario World, it looked like he was on a stage play.
I can get an emulator of it.
If you think you can find
Because I totally own the game.
it. Yes, I am in possession of such things.
I am in possession of such game. I actually am. I just don't have a Super Nintendo anymore.
But yeah, if you can, I'll say, Super Mario. If you can't, as a backup, why don't you play... What's the name of that game? There was a game that came out made by the same guys who made Castle Crashers. Battle Block Theater. Play that.
Oh, jeez.
If you can't find a way to play Super Mario World, Battle Block Theater.
All right.
Lay it on me, big boy.
Jeez. I'm trying to think of what games you own.
I can tell you right now, not a lot. I own Battle Block Theater, but I already
Do
challenged
you
you to
own
that.
Ori?
I don't actually, which is a major sadness in my life.
Oh. Well, now you had.
I got this Portal count as as a puzzle game.
It is listed under the platform on Google.
That's a puzzle game, man. Come on. If we really can't find anything else, sure, I'll have to do that, I guess. But I gotta have some.
I know you have Castle Crashers, but
It's not really a platformer. It's more of a side scroll and beat 'em up.
Okay. Thomas Was Alone.
Don't even know what that is.
Wow. I got that game free in my Steam library, like, who knows how many years ago.
Welcome to the part of the game the part of the show where we try to figure out what platforming games I have. My least favorite genre.
Psychonauts? Is that a No, that's not. Yeah, it is a
No.
platformer.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of the time you're just climbing up and around platforms.
Oh, jeez. All right, I can do Psychonauts.
Wait, let me make sure it's registered as a platformer.
I'll go to the store page.
Genre is platform.
Yeah, it is a platformer. All right, I can play Psychonauts. I got that.
All right.
People say it's a classic.
People say it is a classic, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. To be fair though, it's the one game on that I never got on the PS2.
I got it on my PC.
Well, good for
So-
you.
We'll see. All right, next week or next podcast, we'll talk about these games.
Yep.
We'll try to figure out. We'll probably replace arcade and switch it out for side scrolling
Sure.
because side scrolling is kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
There's also a old school section though, so I don't really know.
Yeah, old school and arcade sounded. I think an arcade is like one that looks like it could be put in an arcade.
Yeah, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's more of like a fight 'em, beating 'em
I know,
up.
but you played them in the arcade originally.
Not Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat was in the arcades.
No way.
Yeah, you can look it up.
All right. I'll have to do that.
You want to make a bet?
No, because I don't even remember the last bet we made.
It's somewhere. Something to do with a game that's coming out.
It is on. No, it was something about it being a open world, wasn't it?
No, I think it was about the Pokemon Eevee not being able to evolve.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
I don't
I don't even remember
the bet-
what side I took on that bet.
You took that you didn't think that she could.
I don't know. I'll have to.
Oh, no,
look it
you
up.
took that you did think. I took that she didn't. That was it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like specifically like with evolving. It was beyond the first 3 evolutions. Because in Pokemon Go, you couldn't have any more than the first 3 evolutions. You couldn't go into like fairy types or anything like that.
Well, they changed that recently. But
Meh.
either way.
All right.
That pretty much, unless we have anything else we really want to talk about, that pretty much wraps this up.
Okay. Well, do you want to send us off?
Yeah, you can find us in a lot of places. You can find us on Twitter at Jesse.
Finding loot.
There we go. At Finding Loot. You can find us here on YouTube. You can find us on Twitch at the Finding Loot as well.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this. I don't know all of our tags.
I mainly run everything.
Yes, yes, he does, and he deserves all the credit for it.
All right.
So, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.